What's up, guys? Kyler Science here. I'm excited for this video. I have always loved the premise and the concept for this game ever since 2018, I think, late 2017 when it first came out, early access on Steam. I played it then on Steam and I loved it, and now it's now in full release on all platforms, and it is very, very fun, like insanely fun. And this game is Darwin Project. Okay, so if you don't know what Darwin Project is a battle royale. What a surprise! The same games that everyone else has been making, but it has a lot of twists to it that make it, to me, it's my favorite battle royale. And it's a 10-player battle royale. It's not 100 players. It's a very simple game, but that is what makes it so much fun. You know, there's a lot of hints in the game. There's cool little abilities that weren't always in the game before. Back when it first came out, to appeal to more casual players, which is okay. When you're releasing a game on console, you don't wanna completely focus on the super skilled players, because then the game will become really sweaty. Kind of what happened to H1. All of the really good players, you know, those are the only people who really play H1Z1 anymore. Even though H1's been gaining more traction recently for whatever reason. There's like a tournament coming up for that game, but that's a completely different conversation. Darwin Project has redeeming factors about it that differentiate it from a lot of other battle royales. There are no guns in this game. You have an axe and you have a bow, and you can craft arrows, and this adds to the competitive nature to the game. The problem with a lot of battle royales is that there's a lot of RNG, right? Oh, so you got, you know, a bad zone, or some dude picked up a gold scar off rip in the game, or picked up a gold shotgun in the beginning of the game, a legendary one, and completely pumped you out of your mind because you didn't have any shields to drink, and you know, you didn't get enough time to pick up some materials. Like, you know, that stuff is, it's a lot less RNG. Each of the parts of the map on the outside have a spawn point. Everybody most of the time gets their own kind of area of the map off spawn, and then what happens is that you just loot up, and then there's a director, or the game randomly closes off certain zones. The ending zone isn't always in the middle like a lot of other battle royales. A lot of the RNG is taken out of it, so you're not gonna die because somebody just had a better weapon than you or something like that. Everybody is put in. It's a very even playing field. Everybody is put in with, you know, maybe the most difference everybody really has is their class. We'll talk about the classes in a little bit, but that's really the most difference everybody has. And for that reason, I love Darwin Project. It takes all the RNG and the randomness out of Battle Royale, and, you know, makes it more streamlined. And even doing that, it makes the game more simple. To me, some of the most simple things are the best. Everybody loves Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4 is a very simple game. And I feel as though that's why people enjoyed it so much. It wasn't really much to it. It's either you want to take some more bullets, you know, you want to eavesdrop on enemy game chat and search, you want to, you know, have stopping power and make your weapon a little bit more powerful. Like, just simple stuff. There's just a lot. All the weapons were really simple. You know, you get one attachment. You know, you want to put a red dot on it. You want to put a grenade launcher on your gun or whatever. You know, simple stuff is really, sometimes is really good in video games. And this game is super simple. You know, the classes are easy to understand. The crafting is easy to understand. It's really hard for you to not know what's going on because the game is constantly telling you, you know, this zone is closing, get out of it. This zone is getting nuked, get out of it. You know, if you start to get cold, craft a fire. It will tell you these things so that new players don't feel so lost. And it keeps, and even if it didn't tell you these things, the game is so simple, it will be fine. But anyway, I'm gonna get on talking about the classes. The classes are super simple. There's a headhunter drone, which helps you. I'm just gonna speak really generally with these classes. I'm not gonna go into super detail, but the headhunter drone, it helps you track down players, maybe that's running away from you, or maybe that are in your general area. It will be a lot easier to track people and know, and you know, it's basically the scout. A lot of information, you know, a lot of insight on what's going on the map. Second class is the grapple hook. Pretty self-explanatory. You have a grapple hook. More mobility, grapple onto people if you want to, zip to them, hit them with the axe, grapple up on top of things. You know, it's a grapple hook. The third class is a jetpack, which is also pretty self-explanatory. You can fly for a certain amount of time, and then there's a cooldown. Each of these classes have like sub abilities and things that are really simple to understand, that are really cool. The map is snow. There's a lot of snow all over the map, and a game mechanic in this game is keeping yourself warm. You can find cups of coffee and make campfires to keep yourself warm. Simple stuff, very simple stuff. The classes are interesting to me. As of right now, there's only solos in the game, but I can imagine how the classes would be very, very useful in a duo setting. There are duos in the complete PC version, but since this game came out a couple of days ago on console, I'm not sure if there's going to be they're detecting stability issues with that or whatever. But duos are in the game. They will be coming to console, I would imagine, pretty soon. And maybe somebody running like a grapple hook and getting like extra axe damage, and then your teammate running, you know, the drone to get a lot of information, so you can both track down enemy players. You know, I can see how all these classes would translate into a lot of teamwork, because I would imagine the game without these classes, you add in duos, it's kind of just two guys with an axe and a bow. And you can, any class you have, you can investigate and track people for a certain amount of time. But with the drone, it's a little easier because you can send your drone. You can also send your drone to fetch supply drops of the Darwinium, which you use to upgrade your abilities and things like that. You send your drone to kill robotic deer. They give you health and a loot item. You can send your drone to loot chests. You send your drone to do a lot of things, and it'll keep you kind of out of the way. You don't want to go up to a supply drop and try to loot it yourself so somebody can come headshot you in the back of the head with an arrow. Now they have the advantage in the fight. You don't really want to do that, and so you send your drone. But the opposite classes can't do that. You have a jetpack or a grapple hook, you kind of have to put yourself out there a lot more. But in combat is where something like the drone is kind of bad. The drone is nowhere near as useful in combat as a jetpack or a grappling hook, and most of my gameplay has been with the drone. I will tell you, it will get kind of annoying, and you'll kind of feel very underpowered sometimes because people have just these abilities, and all you have is this little drone flying around next to you that doesn't really help much in combat. The drone does have an ability that makes it to where when the drone is tracking a target or you're tracking a target, you can hit extra arrow damage, but you're gonna have to send your drone to track them. They're basically right in front of you and you're fighting them, so you know where they're at anyway. And in that 10 seconds, you're gonna have to kill somebody you're gonna have to hit a couple of arrows. By that 10 seconds, once you've hit an arrow, that 10 seconds is basically over. The movement in this game is really good. If you know what you're doing, you probably won't get hit that much. So in combat, the drone isn't really that great, but the other two classes are pretty useful in combat, and I kind of want to see how that is gonna be when it comes to playing cooperatively. I think the classes will help a little more, not really in solos, but in a cooperative version of the Darwin project. I would imagine that the classes will be a little more useful. There's a lot of different loot items in this game. There are traps, mines. There are different types of traps. There's tripwires, cages, bear traps, mines. There are drinks that you can drink to move faster, speed drinks, and like I said earlier, there's hot coffee in order to, quickly warm up if you need to instead of making a fire. Because if you don't know, making a fire makes you very visible to everybody on the map. The smoke goes in the air, and pretty much everybody on the map knows where you are at that point. So make a fire in a good place and be quick about it when you're cold. Get warm and get out of the way. But my impressions of this game so far is it's super fun. It's almost the same feeling I got when I first played Fortnite Battle Royale. It's kind of the same thing here. It's just the gameplay, it's fast paced. Another thing I love about this game is that there are little maps in all of the cabins. You can investigate things and to track other players. This game actively encourages you to move. It actively encourages you to go fight and go kill each other. And the director can do that as well. There's proximity chat in this game, which is super fun. I don't think very many games on console have proximity chat. It creates a lot of fun situations and things. The game is really good, and I've always had faith in Darwin Project. I've always had faith in Scavenger Studios to make this a great game. They've done a great job. So if you haven't downloaded Darwin Project, it is now out on Xbox, PS4, and Steam. So if you haven't played it, definitely go and do that. But that's all I got for today, guys. Peace out.